Rotation tie. This is a very powerful way to rotate teeth. We generally only use this when a tooth is being extremely stubborn and will not move. We've had such great success with lock it in the slot and those power chains from anchor tooth to target tooth that we don't use this nearly as much anymore. But when you have that tooth that, there's room for it, but it just won't move, okay? This is a good chance of getting that tooth to move. I like to take about a 9-unit power chain, and I close my math out, and I shove the tip of it through that loop on the free end, that last loop. Then slide it underneath the arch wire next to the tooth you want to rotate. Open up that math out ever so slightly, grab that last loop on the free end, and now pull. We've done just like we do in the high canine cases. We've knotted the power chain onto the arch wire. We also use this in TADS too. This is a valuable trick, that power chain knotted onto the arch wire. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go through the contact, around the lingual, through the contact, and what you want to do is shove that power chain in between the tooth of the wire, let go of the math out, re-grab it, and then pull. This way it's underneath the arch wire. It's less likely to slip up and off the tooth for your patient. And then tie it onto, ideally, all 4 tie wings. This is going to provide a strong rotational force towards the knot. The knot is the anchor. So you don't have to memorize anything, which side you put the knot on to rotate mesially versus, rotate distally. Visualize. How is the chain pulling? The chain's going to pull towards the knot. So you know whether you put it on one side or the other. And here's a video of the rotation tie. Again, we push through that last end, then we, feather that chain underneath the arch wire. Next to the tooth we want to rotate, grab that last loop on the free end, pull. Now you have a knotted power chain on the arch wire. Go through the contact, around the lingual, through the contact. Now watch what we do here. See how I shove that chain between the tooth and the wire, let go and re-grab? Now that's automatically underneath the wire. Okay, less likely to slip up for the patient. Then just tie it onto all 4 tie wings and cut off any remaining units you may have. And that is going to provide a strong rotational force towards the knot. Okay, if you want it to rotate the other way, you put the knot on the other side. It's that simple. Okay, again, we reserve this for very, very, very stubborn teeth typically, although we do use this a little bit more in lingual where you have less of a mechanical advantage. We've had such great luck with lock it in the slot and power chain from anchor tooth to target tooth that we don't use this nearly as much as we used to, but it's a nice trick to have for those very stubborn teeth. Again, it's going to rotate towards the knot. So visualize which way do you want the tooth to rotate, so you know where to automatically put the knot. Here's a clinical example. We're doing it in this case on a canine. Again, knot the power chain onto the arch wire, through the contact, around the lingual, and onto the bracket. Now, if you're doing it on an anterior tooth, which is very rare nowadays anyway, but if you are, make sure you put a little composite ledge, okay? Just like we do with a slingshot on an anterior tooth. That'll just keep the chain from wanting to slip up. You don't need it on a posterior tooth, but on an anterior tooth, you want to have that little composite ledge, that little anchor to keep the chain from slipping. Here's a clinical example of a rotation tie in action. Here we have a very rotated central incisor on a lingual case, and I can't get the bracket on because there's just not enough room for me to put it on. So I placed a button and I placed a rotation tie, and these will rotate the teeth very quickly because here we are in one visit. Now I can remove that button, place the bracket, get the arch wire to it, and finish up the case.
Now here's another way you can rotate, in this case, distally rotated premolars. The most common way for a premolar to be rotated is mesially rotated, but of course you can have distally rotated premolars as well. So by taking this rotation style power chain, you can correct these very simply. You just go from the anchor tooth molar hook, you place that power chain between the contact of the second premolar and first molar, around the lingual of that second premolar through the contact on the mesial side, and then tie onto the bracket tie wings as per usual. The chain is going to always want to pull towards that anchor tooth. So it's going to automatically correct that distally rotated premolar. Now, when placing these rotation style power chains, you want to make sure that you place that power chain underneath the archway or to the gingival side of the archway to help prevent that power chain from slipping off the tooth for the patient.
And you can, if you just visualize how power chain is pulling, you can come up with a lot of cool stuff that's going to kill two birds with one stone. Now here we have a lower incisor extraction case, and I want to place a power chain to close that space. But if I just go from lateral to lateral, what's going to happen to those lateral incisors? They're going to rotate more in the direction I don't want them to go. So if you just think, how's chain pulling, what can I do? I can place this rotation style power chain. Place, a unit on the lateral, go through the contact around the lingual, back to the facial on the central, through the contact and around on the lingual, and it's going to not only close my space, but rotate the teeth the direction I want them to go. Just visualize how's the chain pulling, and you can come up with a lot of cool stuff to kill 2 and 3 birds with that one stone.
To make sure you don't miss any of our Powerprox pointers, please subscribe at 6monthbraces.com/orthotips. To learn more about our live seminars for Powerprox 6-month braces, please visit 6monthbraces.com/live-seminars. To learn more about our unlimited case support and online seminars, please visit 6monthbraces.com/online-seminars. If you prefer to call us, our phone number is 440-646-1000. To learn more about our laboratory services for Powerprox 6-month braces, which include digital bracket placement, 3D printed indirect bracket bonding trays, digital case setups and treatment simulation images so you and your patients can both see the case results before you even start, IPR guides so you know the exact amount and location of any IPR that you may need, and a lot more, please visit 6monthbraces.com/Powerprox Lab.